Have you ever wondered what it's like to foster a bunny? Well, wonder no more, as we have an absolutely amazing foster hero to tell you all about the bunny cuteness. We're going to tell you all about that and so much more right here on Pets on Parade. Good morning and welcome to Pets on Parade, brought to you by 3TV. I'm Kelsey Dickerson with the Arizona Humane Society. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. As you can tell, we are all excited to be here, including this little one. And from magician kitties to literary puppies that were just a few days old when they were brought in with us, today's pets have made some incredible transformations, none of which could happen without our community support. We'll introduce you to these cute babies in just a bit. And to quote one of today's pups, there is no happiness like that of being loved by your fellow creatures. These little ones sure have received and given lots of love while in your care, Perry.
Right, Kelsey. These little guys right here, these are 3 of the 7 dwarfs. But we don't have a sneezy or a dopey or a grumpy in this group. We have some very high-class literary pups here. You're going to meet Moby Dick in a little while. We have Jane Eyre over here, and we have little Emma right here. These guys have quite the story. They were found 7 puppies, 5 days old, with mom, presumed dad, and a bunch of cats in an abandoned car. And that must have been quite the scene for these guys. It's an absolutely amazing story. Our foster manager, Carrie, here, I'm sure is used to stories like this all the time. You see it every day. But it's new to me to see things like this. These guys had a little rough start. They don't remember it very well. They were 5 days old. I have been fostering them. They went to foster. They actually were in maternity suites for a while with mom. Then they went to a foster home with mom for a while. After they were weaned, they got down with a little bit of a kennel cough, so I took over, and I've had them for a little while, and they are absolutely wonderful little puppies. They are, it's been a short-term foster for me, but these guys have been so sweet. Quite house-trained at this point in time, loving, affectionate, and so I hope somebody has it in their heart to come and meet 3 of the little 7 dwarfs.
Oh my goodness, and there is a whole crowd of people who are just waiting to pet them behind the scenes. Thank you so much for fostering those sweet babies, Perry. And the first of our magic kitty litter on today's show, this little one is named after a magician known for his acts of endurance. Janine, who is this cute kitty?
This is Blaine. Welcome to my show. He is, I tell you, a perfect kitten. He's like so chill and just loving, and he's a draper. He loves to lay across your arm. He's just been hanging out. He was looking at those puppies, and he was so interested in them, and he was not scared one bit. But look at his disposition. Perfect, and the striping and the coloring. He's just gorgeous. Let's see his face. There he is. Look at him. He's so cute. Him and his 2 siblings were found, and the people that found them actually cared for them in their home before bringing them to the Humane Society for 3 weeks. And then once they were a little bit older, and we actually gave them a care and place kit, which is awesome, they were brought to the shelter, and they did have some upper respiratory. So then they went back into a foster home, and that's where they definitely learned how to be chill, beautiful, sweet kitties. I mean, their personalities from the get-go, they have always been cared for, and that just reflects, and just their disposition when they grow up in a foster home. So that is, if you do find kittens, if you possibly can, it would be so great to keep them in your house. We will provide all the necessary supplies, and when they're ready to be spayed and neutered, you can bring them back to the shelter, and we'll find homes and get them up for adoption. So if you find some, just go on azhumane.org/foundkittens for more information. And it is the best feeling to know that you helped some little stray babies that were abandoned by their mom.
Absolutely, it is so life-saving. And you know what? I think that kitty is almost like a magician's assistant as well, the way that you're kind of mixing them all around. Thank you so much for that, Janine. And the Arizona Humane Society is excited to announce that we have received a special grant from the Gray Muzzle organization to support our life-saving work for senior dogs. This grant allows us to keep senior pets in loving homes by providing monetary assistance to pet owners in need through our Bridge the Gap program. This unique partnership ensures struggling pet parents have the resources they need to care for their beloved senior pets. Grace is a 10-year-old Jack Russell Terrier and is just one of those pets whose life was changed thanks to this grant. Like so many senior pets, her teeth had begun to decay. Eventually, her teeth became so painful she could barely eat. Her owner knew that she needed help but couldn't afford the treatment she needed. So reached out to our Pet Resource Center and through this grant was able to give them the treatment that they needed and keep them in their loving home. We are so grateful to the Gray Muzzle organization for that. And for many different reasons that are often out of their family's control, many pets find themselves being surrendered to AHS, including this sweet pup. I know it was a hard decision to make, Lisa. Look at this sweetheart.
Yeah. Theo was surrendered to the Arizona Humane Society through no fault of his own. His owner loved him dearly, but just was not in a situation where she could actually take care of this little sweetheart. So he is a 1-year-old, looks like long hair, dachshund, maybe some, I don't know, King Charles Spaniel. He's got a beautiful fluffy tail. And he has been working the back room back there. All the wonderful people from Channel 3 come to see our pets behind the scenes, and he has just moved from person to person and put his head in each person's hand. He has a very trusting, wonderful personality. So for someone that is going to be lucky enough to meet Theo, he takes treats gently, he looks up into your eyes, and you are going to melt when you meet him. I'm sure the first person who meets him in person is going to take him home. He had a little bit of an ear infection, which was treated by our Second Chance Animal Trauma Hospital, and he may have a few days left of ear meds if you come down to adopt that would go home with him. But the AHS has several programs for people in need, emergency situations, or if you are in a situation where you think you are going to be able to get your animal back, maybe your house had a fire, domestic violence situations, things like that. AHS does have a temporary foster program, 30, 60, 90 days. You work with the shelter. They will spay and neuter your pet while it is in foster care. And it is a great way, if you're thinking of fostering, it's a wonderful way to start fostering. So many people say they don't want to foster because they couldn't give up the pets. Well, in this case, there is an owner on the other end of your foster period looking for their beloved pet back. So you're just watching a dog or a cat or a bunny for a friend that you just don't know yet. It is a wonderful program, and we've reunited a lot of people with their dogs. We have a military program for deployed service members. It's a great way if you're a veteran to give back and maybe watch your fellow veterans service member's dog. So contact our foster department at azhumane.org/foster for more information.
Absolutely, it is a life-saving program, and as we always say, the best place for a pet to be is in their loving home. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. And we're all jonesing for Jonesy on today's show. What is this handsome kitty's story, Perry?
This little guy right here is 6-month-old, a little bit older than we normally have on the show here. Absolutely wonderful, though. He came in as a stray through one of the emergency animal clinics out there, got him into our Second Chance Animal Trauma Hospital, and noticed that he had the old dreaded upper respiratory infection, which is very, very common in kitties. So we treated him, and then he needed some more treatment, though, so he went off to a foster home. And they continued that treatment, and they did a great job on this guy. They said he was extremely sweet in that foster home. And look how beautiful he is. Look how well behaved he is. He loves the chin scratches. He is one beautiful black kitty. Like I said, 6 months old. You know, last week I told you about a way to donate money and get a lot of money back with our 50-50 raffle. There's another way to kind of get things back, and that's through our thrift store. Yes, it's a donation, but you're going to come away with some goods when you do that. We have slightly used stuff, we have brand new things, we have daily specials, we have all kinds of things in those stores. We have several locations, and it is an absolutely fantastic way to donate money to the Humane Society. If you're not in the shopping market, but you want a nice tax deduction, how about donating some stuff to that thrift store? If you've got some large items or some super bulk donations, we'll come pick it up for you also. Like I said, we have several locations. You can go to azhumane.org/locations to find all those. And I said, Kelsey, it's not as lucrative as that 50-50, but I think we've all heard of people going to thrift stores and coming away with some hidden gems that are worth a lot of money. Maybe it'll happen to you.
Absolutely. I've been there, and there are some great items. So that is great tips right there, Perry. And make sure to stay tuned right here to Pets on Parade. We're going to tell you all about how you can help us save adorable bunnies like this by being a foster hero. That's coming up after the break. Welcome back to the show. Now, the Arizona Humane Society has experienced a number of cruelty cases over the last few months that have put dozens and dozens of rabbits into our care. And joining us today is a very special foster hero to show how you at home can help just one or a few of those bunnies in our care. Kate, Carrie, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Now, first off, Kate, I want to start with you. What inspired you to become a foster hero, and how long have you been fostering little ones like this?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I did not foresee myself taking in bunnies. I really thought I was going to foster, some kittens or something. But when I saw a posting online that you guys had a need this last year for some fosters, I decided to give it a shot. And I've never owned a bunny in my life. I've never had a bunny. But it's so easy. I have a cat and 5 chickens at my house. These guys are the easiest. So yeah, I got the cage from the Humane Society, and then I've just had a blast researching bunnies and buying more stuff.
Absolutely. Now, you definitely have a great setup at home. And like you mentioned, you had never had experience with bunnies before. So this has definitely been a learning experience, but it seems to be like a fun one. For anyone out there who maybe doesn't have experience either fostering or with bunnies, what advice would you give them?
I say give it a shot. I mean, these guys are great. They're quiet. They like to have a cage to run around, but they're wonderful. You can sit down with them in their cage, and they just come up and sniff you and just kind of get to know you, and it's really easy.
Oh my goodness, I absolutely love that. And some of the pictures and the videos that we've been seeing, they're just absolutely adorable. All of these little ones have such unique personalities. Carrie, we talk every week how life-saving our foster hero program is. What does it mean to be able to ensure that we have a safe place for our bunnies? Because sometimes they can take a little bit longer than some of our other cases.
Absolutely, Kelsey. And with the quantity of bunnies that we've had coming in over the past year from our large-scale intake or hoarding cases, our foster heroes mean the world to us because these rabbits have no place else to go. And so when you open your heart and your home to taking in one of these kiddos, they can be a foster period of anywhere from a couple weeks to months long, depending on how old they are. It really is how these rabbits become socialized, and rabbits do best in pairs, so it's even more fun to see these 2 kiddos together. We hope that in a month when they're ready to go up for adoption that they'll get adopted together. But Kate, it's just wonderful to have you here today, but thank you again for answering our call for help, and we hope that so many more community members out there see this. What a great way to start fostering, especially if you have young children. Bunnies are the best.
Absolutely. Yes. And it has been so adorable. We've been seeing some of their, their little zoomies, which I had no idea that rabbits could have zoomies.
Yeah, what do you call it, popcorn? They
also,
jump up?
Popcorn. So cute when they're super excited and happy and feel safe. Obviously they have been very spoiled in your home, but what has been the most rewarding experience for you while fostering with AHS?
I think it's just getting to know bunnies. Like I said, I'm an adult. I've never had one. I've had animals. I've had different pets before, but just getting to know them and really appreciate these animals. I mean, this is the 3rd group that I've had that I have fostered, and I've had these for 4 months.
It's been a while.
Since they were teeny tiny, so watching them grow, and I'll be giving them back to the Humane Society the end of this month. And I'm hoping, like Carrie said, that they go together because they're really bonded.
Oh, don't worry, I'll give you a call in a couple weeks.
I'm not going to be a foster failure. No.
That's right. It is always a revolving door of life-saving stuff, and being able to just help these pets is so huge for us. So thank you, Kate, so much for everything that you do, and Carrie, thank you so much for everything that your team does. Now, like we mentioned, these little ones will be available soon for adoption, so make sure to keep a look at our website. And if you're inspired to foster an adorable bunny like this, you can visit azhumane.org/foster. And make sure you don't change that channel. We're going to introduce you to plenty of puppy cuteness. Oh, look at that. He's not hemming it up at all. We're going to introduce you to this little one when we come back. Thank you for tuning back into Pets on Parade. Now, the second of our magician litter is sure to blow your mind with his cuteness, of course. Who is this, Janine?
This is Chris, and good thing the kitty doesn't look like the real Chris because he's a little on the scary side. But I can say the exact same thing as I said about Blaine. Look at the personality, the beautiful coloring, the stripes, the mellowness. Oh my goodness! And he lived with the finders for 3 weeks, and then went into a foster home after that. And I think that has just made the hugest difference in their personality and how mellow they are. And they're all curious with the dogs in the room. So I think that will be a nice mix if you already have dogs. But we also have, which is super cool, a bottle baby ICU. And that is for underage kittens and puppies that have to be bottle fed and cared for around the clock. It takes a village to raise all these little babies. And our volunteer in that department, and she is a longtime donor, she has committed to offering $10,000 match. So everything that you donate, she will match it up to $10,000, and that's going to go on until August 7th. So every penny is going to be doubled. And that's what we really need, is to save the lives of these most vulnerable pets, because, you know, kittens, when they're super tiny, they can't regulate their body heat. They can't go to the bathroom by themselves. They have to eat every 2 or 3 hours. So if you just go on azhumane.org/bottlebabymatch, every penny will be doubled up to $10,000. Yay.
Absolutely. It is so life-saving. Thousands of kittens and puppies are saved each and every year in there. So thank you for that, Janine. And before we introduce you to the pup we saw before the break, we have to show you this picture. I don't know why. It is just so funny the way that he is looking at the camera to me. Lisa, he's just been cracking all of us up today.
Well, I can explain that picture. The reason he's looking there is because Theo, oh no, this isn't Theo, sorry. This guy here, Marvin, was in a hotel room. He checked in with his owner, and in the middle of the night, when he was passed out in bed, his owner checked out without him. So that's why I think when he was back in our kennels behind the gate, he was thinking, well, what the heck happened? So luckily, he waited at the hotel room for our EAMTs to come and check him out. So they luckily checked him out. His owner had abandoned him there. So this 6-month-old now, he's a pretty chill dog, likes bags of chips out of the mini bar. You know, he's going to be easy. He's probably going to be big, but at 6 months. But he is very sweet and very lap-oriented. So I think he spent a lot of time with his people. So if you're thinking of a little couch potato, maybe somebody to take some great naps with, this guy is a good choice. And in the summer, please keep these guys out of the heat. If you need cooling items or cooling ideas for your dog, we have an online store, azhumane.org/petite. You can get cooling items there, water bottles, those bandanas you can soak in ice water or put in the freezer and put around your dog's neck. Those are water bottles you can squeeze, your dog can drink right out of the top. And those are the cooling bandanas. Booties, we've got you covered. Any of your cooling items that you need for the summer, please go online and check it out. Anything you purchase on there, it goes straight to help out the animals in our care at the Arizona Humane Society.
Absolutely. And look at those paws. I think maybe a kiddie pool all to himself would be good too. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. And last week we told you about adorable 11-year-old Mac, who was in search of his forever home after his owner sadly passed. Well, after spending a few weeks in a foster home as a part of our legacy circle, we are happy to report he has found his forever home. His new adopter was first in line last Saturday morning to ensure they would be the ones to be his family. We are so happy for Mac and all of our senior pups that find their forever homes. And now joining us is a beautiful bunny who is quite unique looking. I'm not sure I've ever seen a blue-eyed bunny in person before, Perry.
Right. It's absolutely amazing. You actually might not be able to see it because the pupils are so huge at this point. You can barely see the irises. It is a recessive gene as it is in humans, so it's recessive to the brown eyes. The two most common eye colors you're going to see in rabbits are brown and amber. This little one right here is a 1-year-old Rex, and if you have never touched a Rex rabbit, you owe it to yourself to come down to the shelter and just spend time with a Rex. This is an absolutely beautiful soft coat. Came in through our animal assistance program. 1-year-old, like I said, went off to foster home because of the RHDV2 virus that we've talked about. Cleared quarantine very, very well, was a little bit nervous in the home. We have lots of critters at the Arizona Humane Society, and they all have unique personalities. They have unique traits, they have unique diets, they have unique habitats. You need to know what those are. Study up, do your homework. Like I said, this little one right here is absolutely wonderful. Rabbits can be a little bit skittish, especially with small children who don't know how to handle them. They don't like heights. We have all that kind of stuff online at our website, azhumane.org/behavior. And if you want to see all the critters we have at the shelter right now, go to azhumane.org/adopt and see all the things we have besides dogs and cats.
Absolutely, so beautiful. And before we go to break, we want to show you this hilarious adoption picture of Bayou, who has already found his forever home, thanks to our incredible photographers. Make sure to stay tuned for more pet cuteness when we come back. Welcome back to Pets on Parade. Now, we are so thankful for you guys to be tuning in with us today. And now it is much too hot to be outside, so that's why we brought this little whale inside, right? Please tell us about Moby Dick.
This is Moby Dick. Oh, he's a doll. I mean, he's perfect. He's a great puppy. He's got a good disposition. He actually, if you look real close, he is chocolate brown, deep dark chocolate brown. He looked a lot like his dad, and who resembled a plot hound. So training will be great. We have our puppy parties that you can take them to and get them socialized with other little pups that are about their same age, as long as they all have their vaccines. And we also have great spay and neuter situation where if you find yourself and that you need to get your animal spayed, but you don't have the means, then we will help you monetarily do that, because pet overpopulation in our community is just running rampant. So we definitely need people helping out in all different ways if they can spay and neuter their pets. So, but I mean, this is part of those puppies that came in, and I think it needs to grow into its skin. Yeah, so he is just a doll. He's not very destructive. He's already house trained, pretty much for the most part. But yeah, you will do a great thing for your family if you come take this little sweet boy home with you. Yes, oh my goodness.
Absolutely. Now, we definitely saved the wiggliest pets for last, and you can't have a magical litter of magicians without this little one, right, Lisa?
Yes, this is Copperfield to round out. As you can see, he's trying to get a little magic trick, which we're comforting him in a blanket. And at the moment, he's enjoying Kelsey and her little cuddle there. He got a little bit nervous with the dogs in the studio, but look at him. He is adorable, has that sweet little white face, and he can have a little spicy side. He might just pop right out of there. I'm going to guess as you walk by your bed, he's going to pop out. But these guys were cared for in place for about 3 weeks, and then they were brought to the shelter. And then they came down with a little kitty cold. We talk about that a lot. URI, upper respiratory infection. So these guys had upper respiratory infection and went to one of our wonderful foster heroes who got them all ready for spay and neuter. We also want to remind you at this time of the year, vaccines. Vaccines are important for cats and dogs. And we do have a $25 vaccines at the Arizona Humane Society. On Fridays, or what you can do is go to azhumane.org/vaccines and book an appointment. Our vets will check them out to make sure that they're healthy enough but not charge for an office visit. So our vaccines are $25 a piece, which is a bargain. If any of you out there take your dogs to the vet, $25 per vaccine is a bargain. And there's no office visit associated with that. And this time of year, there's distemper, there is parvo. Anytime you take your dog, even to PetSmart, there has been dogs there that you don't know whether they've been vaccinated or not. So $25 vaccines, you can't beat that price. just go on to azhumane.org/vaccines and you can learn all about our low-cost vaccine clinics.
Absolutely. When you're protecting your pets, you're also protecting other pets in the community, and we just see it so much, and it is so preventable. Thank you so much for that important reminder. And thank you all so much for tuning in to Pets on Parade. We really appreciate you allowing us to be able to save the sick, injured, and abused pets that we care for each and every week. And speaking of, we'll see you right here next week on Pets on Parade.